Welcome to Ultimate Report. I'm Mary Winkenwerder. Hair loss is no laughing matter. To lose one's crowning glory can be devastating to the emotions and all over self-esteem. How can this situation be turned around for the better? Joining us this episode is Nate from His Hair to tell us more about his brand solution. Nate, welcome to Ultimate Report.
Good morning, Mary. Thanks for having us.
It's great to have you join us. My gosh, this is such a serious issue. So what was the inspiration behind the founding of His Hair?
Well, without diving into too many personal details, our co-CEOs are a brother and sister-in-law. And the CEO, Ian, when his brother passed away, he went through a lot of stress, and that was like the trigger for his hair loss. So he and his sister-in-law, who was married to the brother, just started seeing that there was a market for this and wanted to find a solution to people that were experiencing premature hair loss, and began this journey of looking for something that's an alternative to some of the other options out there, something that might be a little bit more immediate, more permanent, less invasive. And so they came up with this scalp micropigmentation, sort of a modified form of tattooing to give people instant results for their hair loss.
That's brilliant. So how is His Hair unique from others on the market that may be perceived as similar?
Well, we're one of the first companies to begin doing this sort of procedure. So we're sort of on the front of the trend. We've been in business for over 13 years with over 20 locations around the world. A lot of other companies just don't have the resources and experience that we have. But one of the unique things about our company is that we bring sort of more of a tailored, bespoke sort of perspective to the treatment. With everyone's skin being different, people can take to the pigment differently. So we work in multiple sessions. It's a little bit longer of a treatment plan that's still competitively priced with other companies that are a single session or a one-size-fits-all. We bring a more tailored approach, so a little bit longer of a treatment plan, but I think we get the better results in the long run. We use an organic plant-based pigment that doesn't contain the chemicals or the metallic ingredients that you would find in regular tattoo ink, and that's something that's unique to our company, to the His. Other companies will advertise that they have something similar, or they have exactly what they have, but the advantage of having what we have is that, like old tattoos you see that turn to like a greenish blue or a gray sort of fade, ours won't do that.
Oh, wow. Now that's good to know. That's really good to know. So the consumer will understand that from the beginning that they will get a quality product from start to finish.
That's exactly right.
Wonderful. So what does His Hair process, or what does your process entail from start to finish?
Every client starts with 2 sessions to begin with that are usually scheduled about a week apart from each other. The reason that we do that primarily is because when the pigment settles into the skin, it'll shrink a little bit. So during that settling process, we like to have a week in between, and it gives our practitioners the ability to see how the treatment is progressing, how the skin is healing, how the scalp's retaining the pigment. Like I mentioned, with everyone's skin being different, there's no universal way to say this is going to work for everybody this way. So by having some of that time in between, allowing for that settling, planning for that pigment to settle and shrink, we're able to control the end result better. Usually people will require a 3rd or a 4th session depending on the degree of hair loss, different factors, the degree of hair loss, the condition of the scalp, the size of the scalp, if they have any hair transplant, surgery, or injury scars that they want to be covered in as well. And people's skin is, like I said, it's different. I keep saying that, but some people have very tough skin, some people have very loose.
No, they do. Absolutely, because everybody's genetic makeup is unique.
So that's kind of what you can expect is just from the beginning is those 2 sessions, typically a 3rd, and then maybe more depending on what the treatment plan calls for. But we offer a 1-year guarantee past once the treatment sessions that are quoted, once the treatment plan is built. So if you have any minor fading issues or anything like that, we take care of that in-house, free of charge. And what they can expect is just that attention to detail from start to finish.
That's great. So Nate, how realistic is the final product?
It looks just like a 5 o'clock shadow. So if you're used to seeing what a gentleman has, from not shaving, it kind of has that 5 o'clock shadow buzzed look. Most of our clients are already, they either have a degree of hair loss where they need to keep the hair shortly buzzed or shaved, or the clients are already doing that to combat their hair loss. So that end result kind of the full head of hair that's kept shortly buzzed or shaved is what we give. We're seeing now that clients, some other clients who have a little bit longer hair, they're filling in spots, they're doing that and they're having success. But initially we've always been more of the short buzz, just because of the majority of the clients that we have with their hair loss.
Wow. So when one of your practitioners goes to create the micropigmentation, how do they know what shape to create? And does the shape depend on the client's natural hairline?
They have ways of determining where the natural hairline is. They can also, a lot of times the clients will bring in photos if they have of the younger self of where the original hairline was. Sometimes they get the hairline that they always wanted and unfortunately weren't born with. So our guys are creative enough and trained well enough that they can replicate any sort of style of hairline, whether you want a very sharp defined hairline like like a Kanye West, very straight, very defined, or if you want to do something a little bit more naturally receded, kind of a softer, more natural look, like a Will Arnett or somebody like that.
Sure.
Our practitioners can do it. When it comes to the pigment, they're really looking at skin tone and the base of the hair follicle. As far as density, that's going to be the key, is making sure that the density is even and consistent. So it's going to match, the hair that they have on the side of their heads that's remaining, typically like in a Norwood 7 or a George Costanza type hair loss, as we call it. They'll kind of match that so that it's even and consistent all the way around. So it really comes what the client brings to the table initially, and what the client wants.
Okay, so say someone goes into one of your treatment centers and they want to know how long the process will take. How long does one single process take, or a session take?
I'd say on average that with it being 1 to 2 weeks, or 1 week in between the two sessions, and then the next session about 2 to 3 or 4 weeks out, roughly about a month is from start to finish on the average like standard treatment plan. It's pretty much the time frame.
That's
but
cool.
then you walk out after the first session with a complete coverage.
Okay.
But I mentioned that pigment will shrink and settle a little bit, so
Right.
like it's a little sparse, but then we kind of build the density and keep working with it over the next 2 or 3 sessions to get it to where it's perfect. But they don't have to worry about walking out with just the left side and not the right side done.
Right.
They can, a lot of clients will go back to work the following day or 2 days later without any issue.
So let's say someone has alopecia. There are different types of alopecia, and it affects everyone differently. I mean, very much differently. So if someone does have alopecia and they come to you, how can your service help them?
Well, we have a practitioner out of our Miami clinic who started as a client with alopecia, and we had to build a treatment plan completely from the ground up. There was nothing to work with or nothing to blend with. And it gave him this appearance of the 5 o'clock shadow look, like a full head of hair that he keeps, shortly buzzed and shaved. So we can do, like you said, there's all different kinds of alopecia, and we just adjust the treatment plan. Typically with cases where it's like alopecia totalis, there's nothing up there. That's going to take a little bit longer, but a few extra hours in the chair, but we always get the great end result. And it gives a lot of these clients sort of a new lease on life.
That's great. So how does pricing range for this service? And, does it depend on the individual, or, the severity of the individual case? How do you determine?
It varies from client to client. We have to see every client either in person, or we can do photo assessments to accommodate clients that don't live within the area of where any of our locations are, or Skype. We a lot of times we'll meet with clients in a similar setting to what we're meeting in. And it varies. It does. The treatment plan varies from client to client, again, depending on the degree of hair loss, the size and the condition of the scalp, if there's any scarring, if it's an alopecia case, depending on the degree and severity of that. It can start. Typically, treatment plans can start at $800 per session for minor, scar work per session, and then it can go up to anywhere from $5,500 to $6,000 for a total treatment. That's all the sessions included. It's not like a tattoo parlor where we quote by the hour or we quote by the visit. We try to give the client a total treatment plan and then work with them on as far as payment goes.
That's good. So in terms of payment, do you offer any type of financing, or how does that work in your world?
We do. We do offer financing. We work with a company called United Medical Credit that we've partnered with, and we do the financing through them. The information is all on our website. You search for financing, that's the first thing that comes up. As far as if you're paying out of pocket, the standard, we accept debit, credit, cash, but we have sort of a payment structure. It's kind of a method, it can be a bit confusing, but to reserve appointments in the US, we require a $400 booking deposit, but it's not an additional charge. That'll get credited to the balance. And then we're able to split up the payment throughout the session. So you don't have to pay all up front. It kind of takes the burden off of the financial.
That's great.
And with United Medical Credit, what they do is they just confirm the quote. Once you've been approved for the loan, they confirm the quote, the treatment plan price. They issue the funds directly to us, and then clients get to work with them for a payment plan on the back end separately. So most of the time when clients go through financing, everything's already taken care of before they come in.
That's great. So where can we find out more about his hair?
Well, you can go to the website at hishairclinic.com. From there, we have the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, everything launches from there. We've got a blog and a news section that's regularly updated. And one of the unique things about the His Hair Clinic, we have our open forum. It's just like any standard forum that you would find on the internet, but we have clients that it's very, what's the word? I don't want to say like unregulated, but freedom of speech reigns. You're allowed to say virtually anything that you want and have an open discussion about it. And people will have, they'll bring some of their doubts and their concerns, and it's been a great tool to bring people together, talk about hair loss, share their experiences, and share some of their concerns about going through a procedure like this. And we're able to, most of the time, we do have a forum moderator that kind of directs the conversation, make sure that things don't get out of hand or off top.
That's a good thing to have. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of power in social media to have somebody there. Yeah.
If you're having a slow day, it's very entertaining what these guys from all over the world get into. But it does allow a lot of times for clients who have been through this, they will stay and remain on the forum and talk through the procedure, the emotions of going through this, and with other clients that haven't. We even have a space on the forum where if you're in a town like, let's say, St. Louis, Missouri, where we don't have a clinic yet, but you'll have people that'll kind of orchestrate meetups and things like that. Can I see? I would like to see the SMP in person. Can I buy you a beer, buy you a coffee, meet up and talk about it? And we've had some success with people that have that meet up and link up and kind of have these face-to-face meetings. And basically, we have clients that are sort of doing preliminary consultations, if you will, and marketing on our behalf because they are so happy with the end result.
That's amazing. Now, that really is amazing to meet somebody in public and have coffee with them and to share their personal experience. That's amazing. That really and truly is. That's good to know. So Nate, thanks so much for joining us. It's been really good having you on the show and learning more about his hair. This is a great service.
Oh, thank you, Mary. It's our pleasure.
All right. Catch up with me on my blog, www.beautybeautereport.com, on Twitter @beautypublicist, and on YouTube, Ultimate Report. Everyone, thanks so much for joining us on Ultimate Report. Have a beautiful and successful week. Mwah.